Rational equation, simplifying, multiplying, dividing. First equation, 5 over 6x times 5x over 9. Simplify where you can. Okay, so just like you're multiplying normally, can I simplify anything from my numerator and denominator? I see that here I have,
You could do x and x.
yeah, my x's simplify, so these go away. None of my other numbers simplify, so just multiply across. 5 times 5,
25.
25. 6 times 9,
4.
so my answer is simply 25 over 54. Next question. 2 over 10x times 4 over 9. Simplify where you can again. What can you simplify here?
You could do 2 and 10.
Yeah, 2 and 10. This can turn into 1 and 5. Anything else?
No.
Nope. So just multiply across. 1 times 4 is 4. And 5 times 9, 45x. Let's take this same example here. I'm just going to take a second piece to this. So if we take this and let's throw a few more variables here. Let's throw x cubed, y to the 5th, and let's throw an xy here and an x here. So let's make this 2x cubed times 4y to the 5th. I'm sorry, 2x cubed over 10xy times 4y to the 5th times 9x. All right, same thing here. Just like your same approach, you went for your 2 and 10. Simplify both of those as 1 and 5. Your x cubed and x, this could go away, and this becomes x squared. I still have another one on this side here, so I could go, this becomes x to the 1st, and this one goes away. Y to the 5th and y to the 1st, this goes away, this becomes y to the 4th. So I'm just multiplying 1 times 4 is 4 times y to the 4th, 4y to the 4th. And on my bottom, my denominator here, I just have 5 times 9, or just 45. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many variables you are, just simplify what you can. So small correction here, there's actually an x left, so this would be 4y to the 4th times x over 45. Okay, next example. 54r squared over 18r squared minus 42r. I'm going to say one of the most common mistakes I've seen is most people would like to just simplify this r squared and r squared here. Can I do that?
No.
No. Okay, so obviously a mistake that you have a binomial in your denominator. Factor out what you can. Okay, so in my numerator I can't factor anything else out. I'm going to leave that as 54r squared. For my denominator, I have 18r squared minus 42r. What can I factor out from 18 and 42?
6.
Yeah, I could take a 6 out. R squared and r, what can I factor out? R. So if I factor out 6r, what's left? What's 18r squared divided by 6r, and what's 42r divided by 6r? 18r squared divided by 6r is going to be 3r minus 7. Now that I factored this out, now let me simplify. Now I have 54 and 6. Can I divide 54 and 6? Can I simplify those? Yeah, this turns into 9, this turns into 1. R squared over r to the 1st. That goes away, this becomes r to the 1st. So I'm just left with 9r over 3r minus 7. Can I simplify my 9r and 3r here? No, this is a binomial in my denominator. Do not simplify those two. Okay, next example. X plus 4 over x squared plus 14x plus 40. All right, so now we have a trinomial here in the bottom. I can't simplify x plus 4, leave that alone. Over, now I want to be able to factor this. X plus 14x plus 40. Nice and easy. What are factors of 40 that add up to 14?
4 and 10.
Yeah, so this becomes x plus 10, x plus 4. How did I know these signs were going to be both the same signs?
It was, both signs were addition.
My last term here is positive, right? So both these signs have to be the same. They're either both positive or both negative. Because this term is positive, then they're both going to be positive. Remember, this is your hint of what your signs are going to be. Okay, so now I have this here, x plus 4, the quantity, x plus 4, over the quantity x plus 10 times the quantity x plus 4. I have the same quantities here. So now I simplify, the x plus 4's go away. What's left in my numerator? 1, good, over x plus 10. So my answer here is 1 over x plus 10. 48b over 18b plus 24. Okay, so you have to notice that you have a binomial here in your denominator. I can't just cancel my b's here right off the bat. Factor out. So I got 48b over. What can I take out of 18b and 24? I could take a 6 out, and I'm left with 3b plus 4. Beautiful. Now that I took the 6 out, now I can simplify my 48 and 6. What can I divide both 48 and 6 by? Beautiful. This turns into a 1. This turns into an 8. So we got 8b over 3b plus 4. So factor, factor, factor. Factor out as much as you can. Okay, let's try the next one. We have a trinomial over a trinomial here. So a squared minus 10a plus 16 over a squared minus 12 plus 32. Okay, so these are two I want to be able to factor. So if I factor my numerator, a squared minus 16 plus 6, I'm sorry, minus 10a plus 16. Negative 8 and 2. It's beautiful. So I got a minus 8, a minus 2. Negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. Negative 8 plus negative 2 is negative 10. My denominator, a squared minus 12a plus 32.
A times A minus 4.
It's beautiful. 8 minus 4 and 8a minus 8. Negative 4 plus negative 8 is negative 32. Negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. Beautiful. Do we have any common factors, common quantities? Yep. We got the a minus 8. See you later. So I'm just left with the quantity a minus 2 over the quantity a minus 4. So now I have two fractions being multiplied here. R squared plus 3r minus 4 over negative r squared plus 8r minus 7 times r squared minus 4r minus 21 over 2r plus 8. Factor each one of these, okay? So let's factor our first one here. What do I get with the first one? Yes?
4 and 1, so r plus 4 and r minus 1.
R plus 4, r minus 1. Okay, verify. You get positive 3 and negative 4. Excellent. Here in your denominator, you have a negative here. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you don't have to. You can factor out the negative. So this becomes r squared minus 8r plus 7, and then factor this. What do you get when you factor this?
R minus 7 times R minus 1.
So I got r minus 7 times r minus 1. Don't forget the negative in the front. Okay. Times, I'm going to bring this down. Okay, times my numerator here and my second fraction. What's this one? Yes?
R minus 7 and R plus 3.
R minus 7, r plus 3. That sounds good. All right, negative 7 and positive 3 is negative 4. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. And my last one here, just a binomial, 2r plus 8. What can I factor out of this? Everybody? 2, leaving me with
R plus
r plus 4. Good. Now let's look for our pairs. I have an r plus. I usually start from the left to right. I have an r plus 4 here in my numerator. Do I have any r plus 4s in my denominator? Yeah. See you later.
R minus 1.
R minus 1. Do I have one in my denominator? Okay. So here, when I cross this out, I like to use different lines, different facing lines. So that way, when I go back and I check my work, I know what I simplified with what. So then here, I'm going to keep going. I have an r minus 7. Do I have another r minus 7? Yeah. So there's my r minus 7. See you later. Have an r plus 3. Do I have any more? No. So this is really r plus 3 over negative 2, or r plus 3 over 2 with the negative sign here in the front. Factoring this first numerator here, this is probably one of the most common mistakes here, because 6 can be broken up into 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, but which one of these works? So your biggest thing is looking at your signs. Okay, you know you're going to have two different signs here, so when I break this up, I need to get a positive 5 here. Okay, so how do I get this positive 5? N plus 6 and minus 1. Okay. Over. My denominator is just going to be n plus 6. Let me bring this here. Times my numerator here.
N plus 9 and plus 6.
N plus 9, n plus 6.
N plus
Over.
N plus 9 times N minus 4.
N minus n minus 4. Good. Now, left to right. N plus 6.
Yes.
Yes.
See you later. n minus 1?
No.
Stays.
Yes.
N plus 9?
Yes.
See you later. N plus 6? N minus 4? Stays. So then you just have the quantity n minus 1 times the quantity n plus 6 over n minus 4.
You not factor.
Dividing 4/7 divided by 3x over 5. Remember, when you're dividing fractions, this becomes the same thing as 4 over 7 times 5 over 3x. Alright, always see if you can simplify anything. So this is just going to be 4 over 7 times 5 over 3x. 4 doesn't simplify with anything. The 5 doesn't simplify with anything. So just multiply across. 4 times 5, 20. 7 times 3, 21x. My answer is 20 over 21x. Alright, if there was more variables, you obviously want to simplify any more variables. If any of the numbers simplify any of your numbers. So now let's go to something like this. So same thing here. Okay, I'm going to leave my first fraction as is. So 8n squared over n minus 9 over n plus 3 times the quantity n plus 4 times n plus 3 over n plus 4 over 1. So I just flip these. Alright. Once I have this, just go left to right. I have an 8 by itself. Do I have any other numerical numbers or coefficients? No. I have an n squared by itself. Do I have any n squares by itself? No. I have an n minus 9. Do I have an n minus 9 in my denominator? No. I have an n plus 3. Do I have an n plus 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Those simplify. I have an n plus 4. N plus 4? Those simplify. So my final answer here is just going to be 8n squared times n minus 9. Do not multiply in. You could leave it just as is. Let's try another one. We actually have to factor ourselves. Okay. We have 1 over p minus 4 divided by 9 minus p over p squared minus 19p plus 90. Alright, so my first fraction here stays as it is. So 1 over p minus 4 times, I'm going to flip this, p squared minus 19p plus 90 over 9 minus p. Eventually, as you get a little faster on these, if you want to flip them and factor at the same time, by all means, definitely do. 1 over p minus 4 stays the same. Times, I want to factor p squared minus 19p plus 90. What can I factor this into? Two factors. Yep. Yeah, p minus 10 and p minus 9. 10 times 9, negative 10 times negative 9 is positive 90. Negative 10 plus negative 9 is negative 19. 9 minus p. If you notice, you have a p minus 9 in your numerator, but this 9 minus p is a little different. So what's the difference here? How can I make this 9 minus p into a p minus 9? Divide all by negative 1, or actually we're just going to factor out a negative 1. So I'm going to factor out negative 1, and this becomes p minus 9. Okay, so just to do that one more time, if this is 9 minus p, if I factor out negative 1, this becomes negative 9 plus p. Okay, because if I distribute back in, 1 times negative 9 is 9. Negative 1 times p is negative p. So here's the same thing saying negative 1, and I can just swap the order on these. And this becomes p minus 9. You're going to use that technique often. All right, so definitely learn that one. So here you have 1 over p minus 4, p minus 10, p minus 9. My p minus 9's simplify, and I'm left with p minus 10 over p minus 4 with a negative sign in the front, or I could put the negative sign here in the front of the whole answer. Alright, so m squared minus 11m plus 24. I want to factor these. My first one here, I'm going to do this all simultaneously. So what can I factor m squared minus 11 plus 24 to?
And minus 8 and minus 3.
Yeah, perfect. M minus 8, m minus 3. Excellent. My denominator, what can I factor my denominator into?
And minus 6.
Excellent. M minus 6 and beautiful. Divided by, which is the same thing as multiplying by. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy and put him in the front. 8m plus 64. What can I simplify out of 8m plus 64? All right, it's just a factor. It's just a binomial. So factor out 8. You're left with m plus 8. And then m squared minus 64. What does that factor into? Difference of perfect squares. This goes into what? M minus 8 and m plus 8. Difference of perfect squares. Alright, so now let's go back, let's go left to right and see what we can simplify. I have an m minus 8. Do I have an m minus 8 in the denominator?
Yeah.
Yep, that goes away. Keep going. M minus 3, do I have one?
Yes.
Yep, again, I'm going to write my lines in different ways. So that way I can know what I simplified. I have an 8 by itself. Do I have another 8? No. I have an m plus 8. Do I have another m plus 8?
Yes.
Those go away. So what am I left with? My numerator, I'm just left with 8. And my denominator, I'm left with
M minus 6.
m minus 6.